Okay, welcome to another BWL Tidbit. I'll admit on this one I'm not just super clear on what I'm going to be saying. I've got, I don't know, 4 or 5 different subjects, enough to really make another video update, but I don't really want to do that right now. I'm kind of tired and obviously have plenty of things to work on. So I think what I'm going to do is just split it up and hit one topic at a time and work my way along. First of all, if you don't know what's going on, you know what? It's been going on for going on 4 days now, apparently. I'm just now, finding out about it tonight, and I've been watching some videos and live streams and things like that. First and foremost, I'm going to include a copy of the link in the description to Fraser Agar of FFS TV, that's Video Games Awesome, did a really good explanation on what the Content ID claim system is and what the changes were to the system that were supposedly going to take place in January. So that's worth checking out. Apparently this all stemmed from a lawsuit against Fullscreen, I guess is the name of the channel, or the network rather. They got into trouble with one of the many music groups out there, and there was actually a lawsuit filed because some of the affiliated channels were using music that they claimed copyright on in their videos, and they just did an overboard reaction and said, we're losing too much money because you've got too many people giving away our music, etc. And so, you'll always hear people when they start talking about copyrights, they're not set up for the digital distribution age. They're not, the laws are outdated by a substantial margin now. The problem is every time that the government, any government really, starts talking about correcting this, it's always on the side of the iron fist. I'm going to take control of this away from you, and I'm going to put it in the hands of the monopoly, or on the hands of the oligopoly, or something like that. We're going to be overly protective now. And that's not a solution. And we don't need laws like that coming to pass. But in this case, we have a lawsuit that was filed in order to avoid possible legal issues, especially the more involved that YouTube is, the more involved that Google is. We need to protect ourselves. Their solution was, we're going to intensify the Content ID system. We're going to go through and do a full sweep. We're going to make these sweeps more common, and we're going to make this more strict. They said they were going to do this in January, apparently. I can't tell you for certain. I didn't follow this. I wasn't following this at all. The fact is, I myself have been avoiding using even music from outside sources. For the most part in our videos you'll find that I'm using either my own music, stuff that came out of my head, or Key City Productions music, or music from danosongs.com. Some of this has been absolutely insane. Just to give you an idea, Angry Joe in his rant on the subject said that he had over 62 copyright claims. Over 62. Now tell me that's not broken. We heard a post, or read a Twitter message from Andre, Black Nerd Comedy. He said that he's getting copyright claims on videos that the publisher, the developer, asked him to make. Tell me that's not broken. We've got Dark Side Phil. I don't even watch him that much. I've just poked through his stuff once in a while. Dark Side Phil. In his videos, he's updating daily about this now. He pointed out he's got 5 pages full, as of yesterday, 5 pages full of copyright claims and growing. And at least one in an update to that post in the description, at least one copyright strike now. Do you realize how many claims that is, that it fills up 5 pages? That's insane. How? How can you tell me this is not broken? The official response from YouTube is, yes, we went ahead and did this. Now, they said they were going to do this in January. They went ahead and did it. Apparently they meant December. Instead of, we're going to give you a month to get ready, it was, we're going to surprise you and throw it out there now. Yes, we've done it. It's active. I will not be shocked, incidentally, and this is off on another subject, I will not be shocked if they turn around and tell us after the fact, hey, guess what? We're implementing more come January. I will not be shocked if this time in January we get a surprise dump of more issues with these Content ID claims. But what they said is basically, this works. This is what it's supposed to be. If you think there's something wrong with one of your claims, dispute it. Over 62 copyright claims for Angry Joe. 5 pages and growing for Darkside Phil. Keep in mind, that's only a couple of these people. There have been scores of content developers talking about this. The whole point of Fraser's video was to educate people so that there wasn't as much panic. So, you know, people would not be so worked up about what was going on. But then this happens. He wanted to educate the community so that people understood it's just going to be this. It's what this is how this works. You have all these processes to contest it. You're telling me that what you want people to do is jump in here and protest or, you know, challenge 62 claims? Yeah, these are reviews that he's getting copyright claims on. That is insane. Why is this happening? Music groups. I mean, really, so far, the key factor in all of this is music groups. You may recall, Warner Music Group in particular has had a long history of taking down videos because they used music that they called their own. Universal Music Group, some of the others, they put a claim against it, but then they just monetize it for themselves. They take the money. The problem here is that these music groups, these record labels, are the ones that are doing this, and oftentimes very out of place. Because a lot of gaming videos in particular are taking this hit. Why is that happening? Because there's music on a radio, such in Grand Theft Auto, or there's music in the background, or in some rare cases because there's an existing setup for one of the game studios. To their credit, there have been a number of game studios come out. I've got an incomplete list. You've got Ubisoft, Capcom, Blizzard, Deep Silver. They've all come out and said, hey, if you see one of these claims, because a lot of them are coming from these folks, contact us and we'll see if we can fix it. And just to point out, some of these studios, Blizzard in particular is one that I think has already said on their website that it's okay. Rockstar has a similar policy. Valve, I went and looked up Valve just because one of the reasons I still use Valve games, beyond the fact that I can play Valve games on my hardware, which is outdated now, one of the reasons I still use it is their legal info page. They include a Valve video policy. Specifically states you are free to monetize your videos via the YouTube Partner Program and similar programs on other video sharing sites. They specifically say, we encourage our users to make videos using Valve game content such as playthrough or instruction videos or source filmmaker videos or movies. But now people are getting claims from sometimes the studios. A lot of it's coming from record labels for stuff that was included in the game. See, it's bad enough now you can't add in a dubbing. I have not bothered to re-upload the original BWL road trips, the ones from 2009 and 2010, because, especially 2009, those used music from movie soundtracks. I had those on Blip when Blip closed, got rid of us. I'd say closed. They closed us. when Blip shut down the BWL channel, I didn't re-upload that because I knew something in that would get a strike, or would get a claim anyway, based on sometimes very circumstantial evidence. And it's up to you to challenge that. What makes it worse is on the YouTube information, let me find it. Yeah. On their information about this, they have a nice little red text at the bottom of the page that says, YouTube does not make determinations of fair use. Fair use is determined in a court of law on a case-by-case basis. So if you're somebody like me, you're putting together videos and you do a review, and your review happens to have a few seconds, like 10 seconds worth of gameplay footage that has a radio playing, and that radio playing is playing a song that somebody wants to claim a copyright on, and the automated system identifies it, they can take control of your video, and they can choose to either remove it and give you a strike, or to take over the money coming from that video. So for someone like me, that's a tough situation. You challenge that, they still are not required to actually acknowledge it as fair use. If they refuse, or if they issue a strike, it's up to you to challenge that and be prepared to hire a lawyer and go to court and fight them for that. That's insane. I mean, there is a point where YouTube, Google, has to protect itself, but there is a line there. And frankly, Google has a responsibility to its users. At some point, somebody in that corporation, Google or YouTube, either component of this overarching Google corporation, has to draw a line and say, you know what, we have a responsibility to our users. This is not working. 62 claims, 5 pages worth of claims. That is broken. I'm amazed. One of the Dark Side Phil mentioned, one of his claims is from Fallout 3. When he started talking about that, I thought, uh-oh. See, I have had plans for some time to bring back solo play. I'm starting over and doing it a little different, and I wanted to start with Fallout 3 as soon as I get some fresh hardware to make that a little easier to record. That's the intention. Fallout 3 with mods. We'll see what happens and have some fun. His claim isn't from one of the radios. My immediate thought when he said it was, it must have been one of those old songs that shouldn't actually be claimable. I don't want to set the world on fire or something like that, right? It was for the background music. He had to research it to find out even what the claim was. It was for some of that dull, airy music that plays in the background while you're wandering through the wasteland or while you're down inside one of the sewers. It was background music. That's insane. I can't say that enough. It aggravates me to even think this is what we're getting claims for. Fortunately, I myself have not had any of these claims. I've had 2 previous, and they're just as stupid. I've had a claim on a video on my own personal account for the Cat Life a Look Back video because I used Faith of the Heart as a music to go over the slideshow of all the previous years of development in Cat Life. I'm going to be taking that video down. I left it be for the time being, but I'm not going to leave it up. The video is no longer relevant anyway, and I don't want that on the account. I don't want them, in this case I don't remember who it was, if it was Universal Music Group or who it was, but I don't want them making money off of my video. I don't make money off of my videos. I haven't monetized. I'm not making a profit off of this. I'm monetized on Blip. I'm not with Blip anymore. So I see no point in them trying to lay claim to this stuff. But at least in that one I understood where it was coming from, you know what I'm saying? Because it was actually playing the song in the background. It's like the whole song. I knew whenever I did it that it would probably get a claim eventually. No big deal, right? The other claim that I've got is on the main BWL account. It's on the original Disorientation, the 33 minute, 35 second version of Disorientation. You want to know what that claim was? I figured, okay, here's a claim on Disorientation. It's probably one of the sound bites. It's probably some dialogue that I used. Maybe it's on one of the movie themes. You know what it was? The opening sequence, where I have the police car driving along, and you hear the Naked Gun police squad theme playing over it. And that little introduction with credits. That's what the claim is. Some record label, some publisher of music has a greatest hits of TV themes of some sort and claimed it as the Police Squad theme. Out of 33 minutes, 35 seconds, that's what the claim is. Here's a better part. How many of you actually have watched that video on YouTube? Not the 10-minute version over on my own personal channel, the actual original 33 with the commentary on the annotations. There's a grand total of 27 views on that video. That video is private. I set it up so that the VIPs at BWL could watch it. I'm going to be taking that down because I don't want that claim there. What I'm probably going to do with these videos that I take down, there will be others, is I'm probably going to make them available for a download somewhere. That way they're still available. The old BWL road trips, that sort of thing, are still available. I'm not going to guarantee when I'm going to get around to doing that. It may take me a while. But that's insane. You're talking about a video that no one will ever see except for VIPs. It's never going to have millions of views. It's hidden. It's private. Because of a theme from a TV show. In a segment that was spoofing the TV show. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. I do understand where it's coming from. All that stuff happened before I started making an effort to use less of outside content, specifically music. You may recall our It's a Spectacle of Gmod Tower. I shut down a Clutch video that Cyrus and Asama were playing. Why? Because I didn't want it to get flagged. I didn't want a claim coming in on it. Not that Clutch would actually go out of their way to claim that. But whoever the record label, whoever holds it, whoever holds the right to the particular song could. Just because it was played on the TV, on the YouTube TV, in-game. If you're making it this hard for legitimate people, the fact is, this is all really affecting game channels a lot more than anybody else, just because there's so many subversive ways to hit them. You could have it on the radio, in-game. You could have it in the background of the game. In some instances, people dub in music over the gameplay. They're kind of asking for it in that case. It could be trailer footage, and that's been one of the big ones. There are a number of people now that have had videos hit with copyright claims because somebody at one of these publishers or one of these developers sent them a trailer, sent them a package to make videos. And YouTube's Content ID claim has hit that and said, nope, can't be using this stuff. But the developer sent it to me. Too bad. I really can't get over that. That's stupid. that's broken. And YouTube says that it's not. Are you out of your mind? How is that not broken? Just the fact that Andre has said that he's had companies request that he make videos and send him stuff to put in these videos, and those videos are getting claimed, that's insane. I don't really know what to say about it other than what I plan to do. I've always said I would like to have a second channel. I had Blip. I don't have Blip anymore because they decided I wasn't making enough money for them. It's their prerogative. I need to go ahead and find somebody that I can use. I haven't got any personal preference right now. I'm not looking too seriously right now either. But there is a chance of something like this hitting me at some point, and I want to be ready for it. The best you can do under normal circumstances is, if it's a normal claim, you can challenge the claim. If you get into that strike situation, a small station, or a small channel rather, like myself, can't do anything about it. I'm not affiliated with any networks. I am just a little guy. Most of my videos start out in the hundreds of views, and there's not much I can do about it. This is bad enough that I could find myself looking elsewhere before all's said and done. Probably not, because I've been making so much of an effort. I had already planned on, whenever I can turn music off in a game, turning it off anyway. I'd much rather use Dano songs, Key City Productions music, all those things, because I get better music out of it. And really, Purple Planet's going to be great for me too, because they have a lot of great orchestral themes, that sort of thing. So I'm looking at my options there. I feel like I can do better with my own selections than what they have. But we wanted to do a playthrough eventually of Saints Row the Third, and then possibly Saints Row 4 eventually, assuming I get hardware that can handle it. You know, talking about Fraser Agar and Video Games Awesome, they had some claims against their videos. They actually had some videos taken down because of a Kanye song that's in Saints Row the Third that plays during a scene. You know, so I mean, you're gonna get stuck once in a while, and there's no outlet right now. The best you can do is watch for videos like Fraser's, so you can understand a little better about how this Content ID system is working, or not working in this case, and how you can challenge it. He explains all of that. It's useful. As far as I'm concerned, like I said, I only have 2 claims. I'm not disputing them. I'm just going to take the videos down, and I'm going to take down some others I think might be trouble in the future. I have been planning for some time before all of this to take down Radio Iceman's cold plays of Penumbra Black Plague. It's our most popular series. It's been around long enough to have thousands of views per video. Have a fair number of comments. The problem with it, it was a walkthrough, and he didn't include any commentary. In order to put commentary on, he went through and added a few annotations. I added a whole chunk of annotations to provide commentary and jokes to make that work, and I'm simply not going to leave it up like that. If I ever re-upload it, I'll be taking each individual one and re-recording those videos. I've already hidden them. I don't know how long it'll take me to go through and get what my comments were, but I'm not positive that I'm even going to re-upload it. I may, just because they're popular enough, and because at least I already have a script to follow through those annotations. I'm simply not going to risk something somewhere along the way coming along and filing a claim on that until I have at least some voicing work in there, some commentary. because one of the stipulations provided by different groups, such as Rockstar, is that you at least provide commentary on your videos. I'm also taking down a lot of the content that I had on my own personal channel. I'm going to move some of our videos over to the BWL channel, and I'm going to make my own personal channel more geared toward the Friendly Garg story site. I'm going to be relaunching that. I'd just as soon go ahead and relaunch that with that channel tied to that more than BWL. That way, the old video that they put out years ago, little short snippet about how they moved to a new site, that sort of thing can be over there. But our old disorientation 10-minute version is coming down. It's just to give you an idea how broken this is. The 33-minute, 35-second version of disorientation, hidden away, private, for the VIPs only, got flagged for Police Squad's theme playing, that big band, da-da-da-da, that got flagged. The 10-minute version didn't. Are you sure this isn't broken? Listen guys, I've talked longer than I intended to, but the main thing is there's going to be some changes going on. I'm going to be taking down videos, I'm going to be moving some videos, and then I'm going to be putting certain things like the disorientation, the long version of disorientation up as a download at BWL rather than on YouTube, because I just don't see any point in dealing with their content ID system on something that old. Same with the old BWL road trips. It's just not worth it for me to go through and try to find the original files and somehow edit them again and put it all back together. There's just no point. So we're going to sort of pass on a lot of that stuff and just make some downloads. So I want them to be available to you, but you're going to have to go to BWL to get it. You're going to have to find some download links. Beyond that, guys, I cannot stress enough. I get frustrated and I get tired, especially when stuff like this is going on. This just amazes me. Those little bits of support carry a lot of weight. I can't say thank you enough for the occasional kind word, because it at least gives me a little bit more reason to keep going. I would suggest that you try to show some support in the same vein with all these people suffering from these content ID claims. Just pop in, let them know you're still watching and that you wish them the best. It's amazing how much that helps. Because I know I personally would have a very, very bad day if I had to start going through 62 claims or 5 pages worth of claims, especially if some of them were videos that a company had come to me to make.